My name is Aida, and my life took a dark turn when I met Roly, my brother's ex-best friend. I married Roly, hoping for a better and more joyful life because that is what he promised me. And I guess promises are meant to be broken. Instead of a tranquil garden, I was welcomed with a hellhole place built to torture and torment me. I grew up looking up to my brother Justin. He became one of my protectors, aside from my father. He truly loved me as he cared for me most of the time when we were young, and even now that I am older, he never failed to show affection towards me. His brotherly love was indeed a pillar in me. He became my role model and my superhero. Growing up, I knew a few of his friends, and one of them was Roly. It had been engraved in me that the two were almost always together. They were like brothers to each other. Their bond was a sight to behold, and even I wished that one day I would have that kind of friendship with someone. And I did. Bianca was my best friend. I met her during my elementary years as we were classmates. She was the first person who talked to me, and she was also the reason why my social anxiety was gone. We enjoyed lots of things together. We shared the same hobbies and a keen interest in sports. Both of us were cyclists. We both have a thirst for extreme adventures, and as we grew older, this hobby became our passion. I was inspired to be a cyclist by Justin. I saw him and Roly cycle all the time. I grew interested in it because I was so amazed by it. And perhaps this is why I had a crush on Roly. Yes, he was my childhood crush, which somehow remained until I reached high school. I even daydreamed of us being together in the future. Oh, how I wish I had not. Thanks to our shared hobbies, my brother started to get to know Bianca very well. In just a few months, they went out with each other. I became one of their biggest supporters, and I couldn't ask for a lovelier couple than them. However, there were dark secrets behind the romance of it all. Justin and Roly used to be inseparable. Never in my young mind would I ever have thought that the two of them would break the bond. But I was wrong. Everything changed when Roly briefly went out with my best friend, causing a rift between him and my brother. In short, Roly betrayed my brother, and Bianca, my best friend, cheated on my brother with him. When I found out about the affair, I didn't know what to feel. The pain in me was overwhelming. I was betrayed as well. I didn't know what hurt the most. Was it that my brother had been cheated on, or that my long-time crush was dating my best friend? Ironically, Bianca knew very well the feelings I was harbouring for Roly. In fact, she was the only person to know, and it felt like she used that information to hurt me even more. I never expected that this conflict would be the onset of a life-changing event. It seemed like a foreshadowing of what had to come. And so, my brother and Roly got into a severe fight and decided to end their friendship, as well as my brother's relationship with Bianca. He renounced any romantic involvement with her. I tried my best not to hate Bianca, but we started to grow apart when she decided to move to another city. What hurt the most was that she never apologized to me about the incident. It was my first heartbreak, brought to me by my best friend and my first love. Sometimes I still wish I could turn back time and tell my naive self to get it together, because they weren't worth the tears I had shed for them. I was a strong young girl, though. I did not let one heartbreak set me back for too long. I matured to be an independent and strong woman with ambitions and aspirations. I focused on my studies because I aimed to become a doctor, and yet my love for cycling remained the same. During my college years, I crossed paths with Roly again when he transferred to my university. Both of us were members of the cycling team, and to my surprise, he had transformed immensely. I have to admit the most noticeable change was that he became even more attractive. And yes, I acknowledge that I slightly caught feelings again. However, I never intended to get close to Roly again and kept a distance from him. However, fate knew how to twist everything around. I tried my best to subdue the slight crush I had on him again, but this time he was so friendly towards me, unlike when we were young, when he would ignore me as if I did not exist. He would smile at me, talk to me casually, and even give me very thoughtful compliments. He didn't seem like the Roly that I used to know, and this new person made me draw close to him. As Roly and I grew closer, I began to believe that he was not all bad, and he honestly confessed to me that he regretted everything that happened. He admitted that he was once a jerk and a fool to hurt me and my brother. He even longed for the day that they would reconcile. My brother, however, continued to disapprove of our friendship. When he knew about Roly, he was so angry at me. He reminded me of the terrible things that Roly did to us. My feelings were clear, but no matter how much I tried to explain that Roly had changed, Justin wouldn't believe it. "He will always be a jerk, Aida." "No, I am telling you, he is a good guy now. He treats me so well." I tried to hold Justin's hands, but he shoved them away. "He betrayed me. He hurt you too, in case you forgot." I heaved a deep sigh. "Yes, I know, but he regretted it already. He feels sorry for it." Justin just scoffed. "Huh, feel sorry? With my ass. I know that man. He's cunning and manipulative. He's just fooling you. Wake up, Aida. I thought you were wiser than this." I had had enough of him trying to push me away from Roly because of his vendetta, so I walked away. After that, I confessed my feelings to Roly, and he said that he was in love with me too. So we officially became a couple. We started to date in public, and our relationship was quite controversial to our friends. Some were supportive of us, but most didn't approve of it because of Roly's questionable personality. But still, we did not listen to any of them. We both knew our hearts, and we made clear our feelings. And I was sure that we were really for each other. So our relationship flourished, and we were both growing in the process. For me, it was a healthy relationship, but only because I was too naive to see the red flags. I felt happiness like never before, oblivious to the nightmare ahead. I was genuinely lured into Roly's trap. I was so unaware of everything. He continued to pursue me and showed me that he had indeed changed. He promised that if I chose him for the rest of my life, it would be worth it. After college, he proposed to me. It was during our graduation dinner when he popped the question. With a charming smile, he held out a velvet box, and then he knelt before me. My eyes widened, and my heart started to pump so fast. "Aida, my love, for the moment I saw you, I knew you were the one. Today, under this starlit sky, I want to make you a promise of a perfect life together. I will never make you cry. I will never let you feel less of yourself." I blushed as I heard him say all those words. It was very unexpected of him, but his efforts moved me immensely. "Roly, you've already made my life better. What more could I ask for?" He smiled at me and opened the velvet box, revealing an extravagant diamond ring. My eyes widened in amazement, and I felt a surge of emotions I'd never known before. "This ring, my dear, is just the beginning. I promise you a beautiful life where every day will feel like a fairy tale. We'll have a mansion that overlooks the ocean and a private beach where the waves will serenade us each morning. I know I can give it to you, my love, because you deserve all of it. I will always be loyal and devoted to you. I promise that." My eyes widened in disbelief. "A mansion? Really?" He nodded with a twinkle in his eye. "And that's not all. We'll have personal chefs who'll prepare our favourite gourmet meals, a closet filled with designer dresses, and a private jet to take us to exotic destinations wherever we desire. No more worries or hardships, just endless joy and comfort. I will do everything to give this to you, I promise you. Roly, this all sounds too good to be true. Everything seemed impossible to achieve, but when he took my hand, he reminded me that everything would fall into place, assuring me that all was well. But it is true, my love, and most importantly, I promise you a love so deep it'll move mountains. Together we'll conquer, and nothing will ever stand in our way. I felt the tears falling down my eyes. Roly, I don't know what to say. He slipped the ring onto my finger. Say yes, Aida. I smiled through the tears running down my cheeks. Yes, Roly, yes, 1,000 times yes. We shared a passionate kiss, and for a moment everything seemed perfect. Little did I know that this proposal was the beginning of a grand deception that would shatter my dreams. A luxury, lovely, and peaceful life? Oh, that was all crap. I wished I knew better. The moment my brother knew about the proposal, he disowned me. My parents were also against our union. They thought that it was unreasonable for Roly to pressure me into marrying him after only 5 months of dating. For my parents, it was a complete red flag. We were not able to get to know ourselves better, and our relationship was moving too fast. But still, everything went precisely how Roly planned it. We got married, even though I did not receive the blessings of my family. Still, they went to my wedding, and it only consisted solely of my relatives, and none of Roly's were there. He said that most of them had migrated abroad already, which was true at the time. Yet, despite everything, I followed what my heart desired, and we settled down. However, as time passed, Roly became controlling, and his anger issues started to resurface. The first sign was that he demanded a substantial sum of money from my family, and he became lazy too. I was working tirelessly to provide for us, while he idled away his time. One night, I was sitting on the couch, looking worried, as I watched Roly wander around the room. Roly, you've been home all day. Aren't you going to work or do something productive? I asked in a very concerning voice. Work? Why bother with that when I have you? I was so confused by his answer. What do you mean? Aida, I've been thinking, it's about time you started taking care of everything financially. I was shocked by the way he casually delivered it. Didn't he promise me a luxurious life? What? But we're supposed to share responsibilities, Roly. Well, you see, I've got bigger plans. I need money to invest in some ventures. And since you have a good job, it only makes sense for you to pay for everything. Roly, this isn't fair. I can't carry all the financial burden on my own. Come on, Aida. You love me. This is the least you can do to prove it. I was so angry at what he was trying to make me do. Love doesn't mean I have to be your cash cow. What happened to our partnership? You told me that we will have a luxurious life. This isn't luxury. I have better things to do in my time, and your money will make it all possible. No, Roly, I won't let you take advantage of me like this. It's time you start contributing too. Fine. Have it your way, but don't expect me to be happy about it. I stood my ground, refusing to let Roly freeload off my hard work any longer. But the horror worsened when I caught him cheating multiple times. But he was not even guilty about it. He was proud. I was so close to signing divorce papers when I discovered that fate had a different plan for me. I was pregnant, and it was unplanned. I was carrying Roly's child. Everything went downhill from there with Roly. He said that he'd change, but only if I got an abortion, and that he only wanted me, not the baby. But one good thing happened during that time. Amid the turmoil, my brother and I reconciled when he discovered I was pregnant. For me to have a healthy pregnancy, he decided to make things a lot easier for me, and he pledged to free me from this wretched life with Roly. I wanted to keep the baby, which went against what Roly was hoping for. As time went by, Roly did not stop tormenting me. Having failed to press an abortion on me, he started accusing me of cheating and carrying a baby that was not his. And, expectedly, he did not accept the baby after I gave birth. Roly's suspicions led him to kick me out of our home with our baby, as he was somehow convinced the child wasn't his. Yet he was the only man I had ever been with.
Go away, Aida, and take that filthy child with you, and don't you ever say that that baby is mine. You are a cheating bullshit whore.
My entire body was shaking as he was dragging me out of the house, clutching in my arms our baby. "Roly, please, stop this nonsense!" He shoved us to the ground, and our clothes were torn apart as he dragged my hair and slapped me. And then he locked us out. I had no choice but to run to my brother for help. "Justin, help!" I shouted as I banged on the door. As soon as he opened it, his eyes widened in disbelief. "What happened? Why are your clothes torn apart?" I told him everything that happened with Roly. He punched the wall in frustration. He promised me that he would get revenge on my behalf. Before confronting Roly, my brother contacted someone who might help us stand up against him, Bianca. At first, I was so confused as to why, but Justin told me that he had a feeling she might know something, perhaps a piece of information that we could use against Roly. She arrived with a baby, and I was so shocked. She revealed that she and Roly were still together. She believed he had been working abroad all this time, which was why he was never home with her. But in reality, he had been using me for my money. Do you know what for? To support his little family. What a complete idiot. And to make it worse, he was not even supporting Bianca and the baby financially anymore. Bianca revealed to me that she suspected Roly had found a wealthier woman to use. Bianca and I reconciled, and we decided to take revenge against the man who caused all of our misery, Roly. I wasn't going to let Roly off the hook easily. He had brought so much pain and suffering into my life that I couldn't simply forgive and forget. My brother and I had a plan, one that would make Roly face the consequences of his actions. Justin decided to make Roly's abuse known to the world. He set up his camera and recorded Bianca and me as we talked about our experience. Then he posted the video online, and overnight the video reached thousands of views. It went viral on the internet right away. It didn't take long for the world to see the truth about him. People were outraged by his behaviour, and countless individuals shared the video. Roly's reputation crumbled, and he faced public humiliation on a massive scale. "He is a master manipulator. There is a legal consequence for him. Sue him." "He deserves to be in jail. He is a terrible monster." "I couldn't believe people were capable of doing this. They deserve to be punished." "My father is a police officer and my uncle is a lawyer. I will forward this case to them." "Do not worry, ladies. We rally behind your backs. You will get justice." We were overwhelmed by the public's comments. Their support genuinely gave us the confidence to go against Roly. And then, not long after that, he came rushing to our home, and he saw me, Bianca, and my brother together. He knelt with tears in his eyes. "I have made mistakes, but I don't deserve this humiliation. Please take it down." "You tricked us. You lied to us. You used us. Please, don't make my life miserable." "And you think you didn't make my life miserable? It was a living hell, Roly. I chose you over my family, and now this is what you did to me. You deserve to rot in jail." He burst into tears and pleaded for his life.
I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Please. But that was just the beginning. We knew that hitting him where it hurt the most would be the most satisfying revenge. And then Bianca revealed an even bigger crime that Roly had committed. Roly had been stealing from Bianca's parents, saying that he needed it for his business ventures. So, with that, we contacted a lawyer and started legal proceedings to ensure that Roly would be held accountable for his actions. I filed for divorce and I sought full custody of our child, providing evidence of his neglect and abuse. Throughout the legal battle, Roly tried to portray himself as the victim and ironically sued me back for ruining his public image with the video. But the evidence was overwhelmingly against him. My brother and I were determined to see this through, and we had the support of my family every step of the way. As the court proceedings continued, the truth about Roly's financial exploitation of Bianca's parents came to light. We presented bank records, text messages, and other evidence that showed how he had drained our finances while he lived a lavish lifestyle. The court ordered him to repay every penny he had taken from mine and Bianca's family. Roly's world was crashing down around him. He had lost his reputation, marriage, and financial security. It was a long and challenging road, but we knew justice was finally being served. The legal battle concluded with Roly facing substantial financial penalties and a restraining order to keep him away from me and our child. Throughout it all, I remained firm. We fought for what was right. I had the support of my family and the satisfaction of knowing that Roly had been held accountable for his actions. Bianca and I reconciled, knowing that we had both learned our lesson the hard way. We're happier than ever now, and our babies will grow up to be the best of friends.